The White Lotus Season 3 has come to a close, and the riveting climax was packed with prominent character deaths. Created by Mike White, The White Lotus has earned a reputation as one of the most exciting dramedy shows on television, with each season's premise surrounding mysterious deaths. The character dynamics are thrilling, and the White Lotus casts are always unbelievable, but answering the question of the season premiere's whodunit is always on one's mind at every turn along the way. The White Lotus Season 3 saw several narratives that could have easily ended in bloodshed. There was a moment where it seemed like Timothy was going to poison the entire Ratliff family, and the show faked out Lachlan's death. None of the trio of women visiting the hotel ever seemed in peril, but their relationship with Valentin and his cohort could have made them collateral damage. Greg and Belinda worked out a deal, but Belinda seemed like an obvious death candidate. There were several possibilities, and knowing that contributed to the intensity of the season's climax. 4. Jim. Shot by Rick. Veteran actor Scott Glenn joined the White Lotus Season 3's cast for the final 2 episodes, playing the man who Rick had traveled to Bangkok to meet. Rick's mother had told him that his father was killed by a dodgy land developer in Thailand, and he discovered that Jim was the husband of the White Lotus Hotel's owner, Sri Tala. In Season 3, Episode 7, Rick finally had the opportunity to face the man, and he achieved long-desired gratification from the outcome. Unfortunately, Sri Tala and Jim visited the hotel on Rick's final day to take photos with TV star Jacqueline Lemon, resulting in another run-in between the two men. This time around, Jim told Rick that he remembered his mother, referring to her as a slut. This set Rick off, and in his moment of panic, he approached Jim and shot him in the chest. Only then was it revealed that Jim was his father, after all. 3. Sri Tala's bodyguards. Shot by Rick. Sri Tala Hollinger, Patravadi Majudan, with her guards in the White Lotus Season 3 EP3. Image via Max. Sri Tala's bodyguards took some leisurely distance while their clients took photos with Jacqueline, allowing Rick the opportunity to take down Jim. What ensued was a firefight, with Rick taking cover and taking out both of the bodyguards with clean shots. These were the two men who put down Gaytok throughout the season, meaning viewers will have little sympathy for their deaths. Their absence leaves a job vacancy, which Gaytok takes over, as shown in the closing montage. Chelsea is perhaps the most tragic death in the White Lotus Season 3's ending, as she was just a bystander witnessing the gunfight. There was notable foreshadowing throughout the season to indicate her fate, such as the "everything comes in threes" comment regarding her 2 near-death experiences earlier in the season. Those were during the initial jewelry robbery and the incident at the Snake Show. Her moment with Rick, where they discussed being together forever, was also a clear calm before the storm. Amy Lou Wood was fantastic all season as Chelsea, and though her character may have had some curious perceptions about life, she was clearly a victim in a vicious cycle of revenge. Rick may have loved her in some way, but the sadness that she adored in him was always going to take priority over their bond. Rick wasn't strong enough to resist his temptation for vengeance, and Chelsea paid the price with a stray bullet to the heart. 1. Rick. Shot by Gaytok. Upon realizing Chelsea was dead, Rick finally realized just how much she meant to him. At the moment of discovering her body, his soul was utterly crushed. He may have ridden himself of his dark past, but he'd lost any chance at life or a future in the process. He carried her body away as a last-ditch attempt to salvage what he could, likely out of shock, before being gunned down in the back by Gaytok. Gaytok was a fascinating character throughout the White Lotus Season 3, as external pressures of masculinity pushed him away from his naturally kind and spiritual instincts. He didn't believe in violence, but his romantic interest in Mook and the pressures of wanting to succeed took hold of him as Sri Tala demanded he fire his gun, avenging her husband. Gaytok may have gotten the promotion and his girl, but the series implies he sacrificed his soul by shooting Rick.